Yes, there's a lot more publicity about cancer out there. People talk about it more. People are still frightened about coming forward for screening. Um, it would be very nice if we could have a test that you could take that would say you have not got cancer. That's what everybody wants. They want a test to say they have not got cancer. And that's what they're looking for in whatever screening program they're going into. The fear is that they're going to draw the opposite. But if you do have a positive screening test for cancer, it means you've almost certainly got very early disease. And if you hadn't have come forward, a number of years down the line, you wouldn't be in the position to get a curative procedure.
Wow. So there is much to be said for coming forward and not ignoring symptoms. I mean, how long do you think somebody should have symptoms for before they think, actually, maybe I should go to the doctor?
3 weeks. 3 weeks. So if you've got a cough or you've got a lump somewhere or you're not feeling yourself for 3 weeks, because if you've got the flu or something like that, it'll get better, right? So, but if you've got symptoms, you should know your own body. You know what your normal body behaves like, what it feels like. And if things are not right for a period of 3 weeks, talk to somebody about it. Either the nurse at the GP practice, go and see your doctor, talk to a trusted friend. Don't go searching on the internet because there's an awful lot of information there that is not appropriate.
Dr. Google's dangerous.
Yeah, go and talk to somebody about it.
Interesting, Sandy, when talking about screening, and something we've talked about a lot in the past few weeks is cervical screening. And there does appear to be, for whatever reason, a real decline in the number of women taking up this screening opportunity. Are we still seeing a decline in numbers over here?
We are. Just to explain, about 3,000 ladies in the UK will be diagnosed with cervical cancer in any 12-month period. That equates to about 3 on the Isle of Man. So it's not a common form of cancer, but it is the most common in ladies under 35. And I think a certain complacency comes in when you're in your 20s, your 30s. You don't want to be thinking about cancer, and you think you're invincible at that age a wee bit. So we're trying to urge the young ladies to take up the screening. It's not a test for cancer. It's just a test to see if there are any changes occurring. As Malcolm said, if you catch it early, any treatment is less invasive. You'll be better within no time than leaving it until, symptoms are beyond repair, really. So it's trying to urge women to go. And tomorrow marks the 10th anniversary of Jade Goody. Jade was diagnosed in 2009. She was actually told she had cancer when she was appearing live on Big Brother in India. So she must have been so frightened. I mean, I don't know if she had ignored symptoms and that's why she didn't really live very much longer after that. She actually died on Mother's Day, which is heartbreaking. But after her death, over 500,000 extra attendances happened. Ladies decided it was time to go and get screened. So we saw back in 2009, a lot of ladies doing it, but since then there has been a decline. And on the Isle of Man, I've done my figures for 2018, we are slightly lower on numbers. However, we've been doing quite a lot of advertising lately, haven't we? So since the beginning of January, our clinics, which we run twice a week up at the hospital, the Staywell Clinic, 20 appointments a week, they have been quite full for since January. So we're hoping that people are listening to the message.
We've had an interview not that long ago with Nikki Hartley, who runs a beauty salon here in Douglas, who was offering free bikini waxes for anybody who proved to her that they had booked to have their smear test. Actually, even the word smear is under discussion now, isn't it? Because it's not nice, Malcolm.
No.
It needs to be called something nicer.
No. It needs a better name attached to it.
It really does, doesn't it? And also, just again to allay people's fears, not everybody finds this procedure comfortable, but it shouldn't be painful, and if you are worried, you just need to talk to the nurse, the doctor, whoever's doing it, and hopefully get some reassurance that way.
Our clinic is run by ladies. They're all nurses from different practices across the island, so it's an all-female clinic. It's after hours, and they will allay your fears. If you're worried, nervous, they will calm you down and reassure you. But I think in years gone by, it did used to be uncomfortable, but now, there are different size speculums, so the nurse will assess a lady's size, and then there are appropriate size speculums that she would do the test with. So they're there to look after you and make it comfortable. And really, 5 minutes of being uncomfortable, if it saves your life, it's worth it.
And actually, in August last year, the Isle of Man's changed the testing procedure slightly. Just explain that to us again.
Before, yes, you would have your cervical smear, and the test would be sent to Path Lab, and the scientists, the Path Lab employees would have a look and see if there are any changes to be concerned with on the slide. Then they would do the HPV test and see if it was positive or negative. They flipped that now. So they're going to be doing the HPV first. If it's negative, great, you'll get your letter saying come back in 3 years. If not, then they will call you back. If there's a positive result, you will be sent for further tests.
We've got a couple of questions and comments about this. First of all, Jeanette asks about the age limits. So at what age do women need to have smear tests? When you first called, is it 25?
25, yes.
And then the upper age limit is?
64.
And can you still opt to go for them after that, or do you just not need to?
You can, yes, you can call up. You can call up the screening office and they will give you an appointment.